Hey y'all, Josh here today, aka the world's greatest dad, and what we have here is the Etenwolf Zephyr S5 Plus air compressor. And today we're going to unbox this bad boy, take a detailed close look at it, fully test it out, see if it might be something you need to pick up as well. So with that being said, let's get it. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. When you pick this up, it's going to come to you in a box, just like this. Let's get her opened up, see what we're working with. Here's everything that's going to come with this. Of course, we've got our user manual. We've got 3 air adapters for everything you're going to need. A Schrader, a high-powered tapered, and a needle. Of course, our air chuck, the Etenwolf unit itself, a charging cable, and look at that, they even throw in a nice 30-watt charger. Let's go ahead and look a little closer at the user manual, and although this does look fairly thick, that is because it's in a few different languages. The English section right here is going to be 18 pages. Now, a couple things I want to point out about this is this nice quick start guide walking you through every operation and thing that this has to offer. Well outlined with pictures and writing showing you everything that you need to do. And on the back page here, I will point out this thing does come with a 2-year warranty. And if you need any help, they do provide customer service via phone or email as well. And besides the instruction manual, I did also find this calibration certificate, basically where somebody in the factory tested this unit and signed off on it. Now let's go ahead and take a little closer look at the unit itself. You'll see on the sides here plenty of vents for cooling when this thing is in high operation. Down at the bottom have these nice padded rubber grips. The top has this nice carry handle for easy transport. And on the back you'll see a spot for each one of our little nozzles right here. And when it comes to the hose, they actually have a nice little setup for both storing and using this thing. There's a little clip right here that kind of holds it in place. And as you can see, it wraps around several times, giving you quite a bit of hose to work with. Now, all of these attachments right here, including our air chuck, simply screw right into the top of this. And of course, you could always just leave your air chuck in full time, put whatever nozzle you want to use in there, lock it in, and you're good to go. And when it comes to the size of this, it's going to measure in at about 6.5 inches wide by 8 inches tall and about 4.5 inches thick. And when we put it on the scale, it's going to weigh in at about 3 pounds, 13 ounces, so just under 4 pounds. Now on the back of the unit, you'll also see that we have 2 ports right here. We have a USB-C and a standard USB-A over here. Now to charge the unit, we're going to go ahead and use our USB-C, and I gotta say, super pumped that they threw in such a long charge cord right here. This thing's probably about 5.5 feet long, and of course one of the few companies that actually gives you a wall outlet. And once you start charging it, you will see it notifies you of where you're at on the charge right here. Now we can also use these ports for outbound charging as well, if you got something you need to get boosted up, which is kind of a nice little additional feature. And finally, we'll take a look at the top of the unit and go over our control panel right here. Now we have our power button. Simply hold that down. It's going to show us our nice display screen here. Next is our mode button. Now we have several different preset modes, actually 6 different ones. We're on the manual mode right now, and we can adjust this anywhere between 3 and 160 psi. Now to make it move faster, simply hold this down. But if you want to change to a different mode, hit the mode button. We have a truck mode with a preset 35 psi, a ball mode 8.5 preset psi, bike mode 22 preset psi, motorcycle mode 30 psi, car mode again at 35 psi, and we're back to our manual mode. Over on this side is our unit button. Right now we're at psi, but if we want to change that, we simply hold that down. Now we're at kPa, bar, and back to psi. And finally, we have our flashlight button right here. If we press that once, it's going to turn on the low flashlight, high flashlight, strobe, SOS, and back to off. Now that we know the basics of this, let's go test it out. So let's go ahead and throw our absolutely toughest task at this thing first and see if it can handle it. As you can see, this tire is completely flat. Let's get it set up, see how long it takes to inflate it. All right, we're all hooked up, and the first thing I want to point out is just how long that air hose is, giving you plenty of room to get your machine set up exactly where you want it. Now to turn the unit on, we'll do a long hold on the power button. Go ahead and select our mode. We're currently on the custom mode. Let's move over to car, which is preset to 35 PSI. And we're just going to tap this power button once to get going. And when we do that, we're going to go ahead and start our timer. And there you go, about 4 minutes, 45 seconds, got us to the preset 35. Now I really like the display of this display screen, not only showing you how much battery you have left, but also this kind of little dial right here that goes up and from empty all the way to full. And I like the fact that this is a tire gauge as well, so you can just plug this thing onto any tire and it's going to tell you what the PSI is currently at. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and check our front tire. This one isn't low, but since this is a tire gauge, we'll make sure it's where we want it. And this is at 33.7. Let's go ahead and get it inflated up to 35 as well. And now we got this one topped off too. So let's go ahead and test out the custom mode on this flat ATV tire here. Now to do that, I'm going to hit mode until I get to custom, which is currently at 11, and then I will set that for what I want it to. We're going to go 8 PSI, short tap of the power button, and we're going. Another kind of cool feature about this air chuck is that it does have a pressure release valve right here. So if you needed to let some air out of a tire, you can simply push that in. And as you can see, it's adjusting over here. It just took us to 7.8. Now, after airing up a few tires, one thing I noticed about this is that it's fairly self-controlled as far as how hard it needs to work. When our tire was completely flat, this thing is really going, pushing through a bunch of air. And then as it kind of approaches where it's almost full, it ramps itself down so we can get right on that desired PSI that you're looking for. And finally, just for fun, let's go ahead and inflate a flat football. We'll go ahead and take out our needle stored here on the back. We're going to use the provided air chuck and just lock that in. Now we'll go ahead and use the mode button again and choose our sports ball setting. Hit the power button. There we go. And after everything we've aired up today, we're still showing a full battery, and that's thanks to the 15,600 mAh lithium battery. So there you go. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the Etenwolf Zephyr S5 air compressor. So to close this video out, here's my 3 takeaways. Number 1 simply has to be ease of use. This thing's got a nice long cord. This air chuck's really sweet, how it can release air as well. And all of your little air attachments fit right here on the back, so you're never out searching for one of them. Number 2, I love the fact that this thing is so compact and lightweight. Now this thing will do a ton of work, and it's about 1/8 of the size of an actual air compressor. And number 3 definitely has to be how powerful this is. When we aired up a completely flat car tire today, I thought for sure this thing would go down to maybe 40 or 50%. Not only did we do that tire, we topped off another tire, aired up a completely flat 4-wheeler tire, and aired up a sports ball as well. And this thing was still sitting at 100%. And it's for those reasons and more, I am easily giving this thing a world's greatest dad thumbs up, and I say, go out and get you one. Hey, one more thing before you go. I want to let you know that the Etenwolf company behind this pretty awesome air compressor is a big fan of the world's greatest dad's in-depth and informational videos. Therefore, about a month ago, they reached out to me and asked me if they could send me this product for video review purposes. Now, with that being said, all the thoughts and opinions expressed in this video were my own, and I always do my best to accurately describe any product I review. Now, I hope this video helped you out. We'll see you next time.